Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Mayor, for sitting down with us, talking to us. Can you talk to us about some of your agenda, some of what you're doing in your city in terms of economic mobility for your citizens?
10 years ago, the city of Charlotte was in a Chetty study out of Harvard that identified that we were the most difficult city for upward mobility in the top 15 to 20 places. Immediately, we learned that that's not that's not something that you want to be proud of. You want to be proud of what you can do in a community. And immediately we created a task force to talk about what do we need to do to change to have upward mobility for our community, the next generations to come. And I'm pleased to say, after these 10 years have been up, that we have really moved the dial on this. We've done it in so many ways. One, by identifying where we had disparities caused by racial discrimination and rebuilding those communities so that they have, better housing, better jobs, better opportunities for their kids. And what I'm glad of is that this wasn't about just being black in Charlotte. It was about a community coming together, black, white, brown, to say this is something that we can fix, and we're working on it continuously now.
So how are you working? We were talking earlier on that, as we know, the president has been in your city, the vice president was recently in your city. How are you working with the administration? There is a lot of investment that go into small businesses. There's a report that there's a small business boom across the nation right now. And so if you can talk about how you're working with the federal government right now to empower, again, your citizens.
I think the Biden administration has given us a real challenge. So when we start thinking about what we're changing and doing and working with them, they have given us outlines for what we need to do. So for example, we have a real effort on energy. We now have electric buses for mass transit. The city fleet is now electric, and we're doing all of this because we know that our carbon footprint needs to change. So that's one area. But the Biden administration has also been very helpful for reducing the digital divide in our community. No one is going to invest in a community that doesn't have broadband, where there are not people that are able and capable to work in this environment, where you need to know how to take advantage of the internet. So we're working hard with our seniors as well as our kids, but the Biden administration has helped focus us on making sure that we reduce the digital divide in our community.
One aspect that you just mentioned is the affordable broadband. And right now, the FCC recently sent a letter to congressional leaders as well as some of the mayor here, because funding will run out if it's not extended. Why is that important? You are on the front line. You see what is happening. We saw what happened during COVID. So what is Washington not getting that you are seeing?
I think that Washington helps identify areas of need, and they actually the Biden administration has given us opportunities. But I see it like this: the broadband and the digital divide is now something that has to be integrated into our city. So, we all pay taxes for schools and roads, and I believe at some point local governments will have to take advantage of this, and we may have a broadband tax, just because that's the only way we can create economic opportunities for everyone.
One other aspect is small businesses. And we are seeing women also entering into that space. What are you seeing in that sector?
Well, right now we're really working hard to develop a plan, a strategy, something that really will have an impact for small businesses. It's easy to say small businesses because that can encompass so many. I think over 90% of the businesses in the country are small. The question is, are we giving everybody the opportunity to create those small businesses and to be successful in them? That means we have to have more inclusion policies for men of color and women of color to participate. Women especially I've seen it happen across the international footprint that we have, where women come together because they know each other and they support each other, and they've created opportunities. We've had so many people that started out with something in their kitchen that they went to a food truck and now they're in a restaurant. So we have to just help people go along with those steps, and that's what will make the difference.
I want to talk about the international community aspect. You know, everywhere you also have a large group of the African diaspora.
Well, that is true, and I believe that we actually have internationally, we have over 11 nonprofits that work with our international community, and we are very, very successful in integrating these communities, immigrants, as they come into our city, and making sure that they have a safe place to be, that their kids enter into the educational system, and we try very hard to let them know how they can create economics for themselves, so that they can get jobs and move on. And I think that we've done that with our nonprofit community as well as local government.
Maternal mortality is an issue that affects everyone in the community, in the nation, and U.S. has one of the largest.
Yes.
As a woman, is this something that you are addressing in your government?
You know, this issue is one that it's been with us for a very, very long time. We still have issues around race and health care, because we don't always trust, people of color don't always trust a healthcare system. So we have an obligation to bring information together and an obligation to put more people of color, women especially, into the medical practice. So I'm glad to say we're opening a medical school in our city in the next couple of years, and we have the commitment of the hospital system that is opening the medical school to increase the school with 20% of 20. The hospital has agreed to accept 20 African American students from HBCUs to go into the program to become doctors. So we've got to pay attention to that and get those kids through medical school, and so that they can practice with people that look like them, and people that look like them choose them to be their doctor.
What gives you hope?
Every day I get up and I have hope, because I know that we can make change happen. It might challenge us. Sometimes we go a little bit forward and a little bit backwards. But for me, hope means making a difference.
Thank you very much, Mayor.